Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, and then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week I predicted that number 1 would be The Grinch, number 2 would be Bohemian Rhapsody, number 3 would be Overlord, number 4 would be The Girl in the Spider's Web, and number 5 would be The Nutcracker and the Four Realms. And I only got 3 out of 5 of my predictions right for this weekend. I was really close, but 4 and 5 were kind of switched up on me, so I didn't get the full 5. But let's go over what happened in the overall top 10. Number 1 was, of course, The Grinch, making $66 million this weekend. I don't think this comes to any surprise for anyone because Illumination tends to have movies that open up really big and go on to make a ton of money. The budget is, of course, their typical like $75 million, so that'll be easy for them to kind of double and triple worldwide. It is only sitting at $78 million at the moment, but I can pretty much guarantee that that number will definitely go way up as the weeks go by, which is, of course, expected since a lot of families are going to go see this. And in comparison to the other Dr. Seuss movies, this is actually the second highest opening weekend for one. It outgrossed the original Jim Carrey Grinch and Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers and Horton Hears a Who. It's $4 million behind the opening weekend of the Lorax, though, but that's also made by Illumination, so who really cares about that? I'm definitely sure that this gives Illumination more inspiration to make more Dr. Seuss movies, though. Like that, I'm pretty sure we're going to see at least a couple more in the coming years. Number 2, we have Bohemian Rhapsody, making $30 million, holding over pretty well from last weekend, adding to a domestic total of $100 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $285, so $15 million away from $300 million worldwide. It's already doubled and tripled its $52 million budget, so that's very good for this film. I'm happy that this film is reaching out to so many people and having them have a good time with it. I'm not one of those people, if you've seen my review, my highly polarizing review, surprisingly, but yeah, if you liked it, that's fine, and it clearly shows that a lot of people are, since it's actually having some good staying power, at least for this weekend. Number 3, we have Overlord, making $10 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $19 million. The budget is $38 million, so it needs $76 million to be considered a success. And I think domestically it's definitely not going to go up anymore from here, but worldwide at least, the combined domestic and worldwide total will, I'm pretty 90-80% positive that that'll happen for this film, which I hope so, because I did see this movie and thought it was a decent time. It was fun, and I hope some people do go out to see it because it's pretty insane. Number 4, we have The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, making $9 million, adding to a domestic total of $35 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $96 million. So $4 million away from getting to $100 million worldwide, but it needs $240 million to double their $120 million budget, and right now it's not even close to that. Maybe next weekend or the week after that, it'll be the time for it to release in other places worldwide, and then it'll get to that doubling point, but right now it's still not looking too good. Number 5, though, is The Girl in the Spider's Web, which is really not looking good. It made $8.015 million this weekend, and on the worldwide chart, it is only at $16 million. So this is on a budget of $43 million. It needs $86 million to be considered a success. It's not off to a good start. And when you go back to the 2011 David Fincher film, that movie actually opened up on an opening weekend of $12 million, but still went on to gross about $100 million domestically because it came out in a crowded Christmas holiday time. So this movie, I'm pretty positive domestically will not be making $100 million. Like I can guarantee that not too many people are really interested in seeing this film, which kind of shows Sony like, hey, you waited too long to make a continuation, and instead of making a continuation, you make it kind of like a reboot, basically, with a whole new cast, and it just kind of goes to show you that this wasn't really a good business decision on their part. Number 6, we have A Star is Born, making $8.010 million, very close to The Girl in the Spider's Web, so when they get more accurate numbers, these two could very well flip-flop, and that adds to a domestic total of $178 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at $322, so still killing it at the box office right now. Number 7, however, doesn't have the same amount of success as A Star is Born. That is Nobody's Fool, making $6 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $24 million. It still needs $14 million more dollars to double their $19 million budget. I thought for sure there might be some worldwide totals at this point, but still it's kind of in like the 200,000s, which really isn't enough to push it over anywhere. So maybe Nobody's Fool is kind of a flop. I can't really say at the moment because there could very well be a worldwide boost, but right now it's not looking too good since they need that $38 million. Number 8, we have Venom, making $4 million, adding to a domestic domestic total of 206 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at 673. So 27 million away from getting to 700 million worldwide. Still very good for this film, even though I really hate this movie. Good for it on being financially successful. It's more financially successful than Nobody's Fool and Girl in the Spider's Web. So you have that, Sony. At least Venom did well for you, unlike Girl in the Spider's Web. Moving on to number 9, we have Halloween, making $3 million, adding to a domestic total of 156 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at 245 million. So domestically, it's still about 20 million away from getting to the number 1 highest grossing Blumhouse movie. It's definitely not going to get there at this point, though, since it's dropped so low domestically. Halloween, the season has passed, so not too many people are probably going to go out and see this film. But hey, I think it's fine for this film to settle at the second highest grossing Blumhouse film domestically. And finally, number 10, we have The Hate U Give, still here from last weekend, which is very surprising. It made $2 million, adding to a domestic total of 26 million, and on the worldwide chart, it is sitting at 28. So still not enough for its $23 million budget to be doubled, but it stuck over at the number 10 spot 2 weeks in a row, so that's good at least. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, kind of easy, I think, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Then number 2, The Grinch. Number 3, I think, will be Widows. Number 4, Bohemian Rhapsody. And then number 5, squeaking in there, Instant Family. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below. And if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.